Artificial intelligence is making it harder and harder to tell what's real and what's not. And this is a real challenge for the legal system. So interestingly, the Chief Justice of New South Wales, the state in Australia that I live in, has just put in a ban into place, which bans judges from using AI to help them make their decisions. It bans the use of AI for evidence, and it bans people representing themselves from using AI to help build their case. This is a dangerous decision, and I don't agree with it. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. My name is Joel Pearson. I'm a professor of cognitive neuroscience at the University of New South Wales in Sydney, Australia. So this ban has just come into place, and there was a number of different reasons behind it. One is clearly that yes, AIs do hallucinate, and this is a problem that's shrinking over time. It's getting fixed. But yes, there are well-known cases of AI making up cases, legal cases that were ended up handing in through documents into the legal system with false information in them. But also other reasons stated were that the legal system is based on humans and humanity, and the idea that an AI would start being part of that system was not what the system is based on, that it's a human system, and they didn't want machines or AIs as part of that system. So as I said, this ban has now come into place in Sydney and the whole state of New South Wales. And I disagree with it. I don't think it is future facing. I don't think it's a good idea. And let me tell you why. Look, I understand where this is coming from, and I understand the fear and the uncertainty around AI and what it would do to the legal system, what it could potentially do, the fear around the perceived downside of this. Specifically, the thing that worries me the most is this ban on judges being aided by AIs to help them make their decisions. And it reminds me of some of the media around self-driving cars. And whenever we see an accident that involves full self-driving mode in cars, it gets a lot of media attention for a number of reasons. And it creates this funny feeling in people where, if you like, it's a cognitive bias that when an accident happened and it was due to AI, it was due to a machine, it feels that it could have been easily preventable. Or if a human was involved, that accident wouldn't have happened. Even if self-driving by AI is way safer than humans, people don't always feel that way, or they don't really follow the numbers on this. They feel it could have been prevented, and there's this bias against handing over control to AIs. And I see something similar when it comes to judges making their decision. To set the record straight, we know that humans are fallible in so many different ways. We are biased by everything in our environment, by our internal physiology, what we're feeling, what we're thinking, what happened the day before, the week before. So our current psychological state, our current physiological state, our neural machinery, and that includes judges. So there's a range of data on this, on how judges are biased. The hungry judge effect is a well-known one that we see that across, say, the morning, as it gets closer and closer to lunchtime, judges, the type of decisions they make changes. They sort of fall towards the status quo as they approach lunchtime. In other words, as they get more hungry or their blood sugar goes down, they put less cognitive effort into some of these decisions. And if this might be granting parole, for example, they're less likely to grant the parole right before lunchtime. And that's just one of the kinds of ways in which the current physiological state changes judges' decisions. There are all kinds of other biases, from gender biases. It's well known that males are more likely at harsher punishments. There are racial biases. The way people appear in courtrooms makes a huge difference. The perceived political status of the individual, the socioeconomic status of the individual, the perceived educational status of the individual makes a difference to judges' opinions. There's even effects, the hotter day effect, where on hotter days, punishments seem to be harsher. And I've even heard talk of data suggesting that when the local, say, football team or sports teams lost, that penalties were harsher as well. So all this is just to say that, hey, human judges are not perfect. They make all kinds of mistakes. In other words, they're not fair. Depending on what's just happened, when they last ate, how caffeinated they were, how tired they are, what happened before, how hot it is, how annoyed they are, you name it, All these things will bias their decision making in various ways. So AI can really help with this. AI can be there to help judges make better decisions, to be more fair. And I truly think that sometime in the next decade, it will be illegal for judges, or in fact doctors, or a range of professional roles to work without the aid of an AI. So this latest judgment or ban of the use of AI for judges here in this state, I think is really sort of focusing on the past. I think they'll have to be turned or changed in the near future. I think we actually want to have AIs monitoring judges' decisions. It's only going to make things better and more fair for the legal system. And to not even open the door to this doesn't seem great to me. It doesn't seem like we're embracing the future. And I think AIs are really the best possible chance we have of making the legal system fairer by reducing these human cognitive biases. So even if AIs do have their own biases and some of the data they might be trained on might have some issues with it, they can be fixed. But the important thing is to think about is that an AI is going to have biases, but it's going to be completely different biases to a biological being like us. And so by augmenting judging in the legal system, by having a judge work with an AI, putting that together, you can cancel out these two different types of biases. And that's this sort of augmented leadership, this augmented decision-making, augmented legal system that we want to move towards. And we're seeing this in a range of different areas in leadership and corporate. And I think we need to start moving towards that in the legal system. Thanks for listening. If you're enjoying these tidbits, these updates about how changes in the world change our mental state, our cognitive performance, our mental life, please subscribe. Until next time,